Regarding phoenix, phonetically, phoenix means not physical. Fire is born in east and dies in west, when it meets water/emotions. The sun which sets makes love with the moon, and dies in her arms. The following morning a new sun/sun will rise. The phoenix is the firebird, the resurrected, fire and water, which is potential/not manifest. The Phoenicians were a sea people, eyes see people. CC/33 is fire and water, flow, while air and earth is control. Water is the sea, passive, feminine, fire is the seer, active, masculine. Fire is both masculine and feminine though, since it has an even number 4. Phi air equals physical air, so fire is and is not, a paradox. Adam is a for alpha and he is an odd number, odd m. Adam is the first, the strong. The linear, aimed energy with a beginning and an end, logics, add m. Air accumulates for himself. An easy way to distinguish between masculine and feminine energy is to compare the two energies with the qualities of the sperms and the egg. The sperms are active, competing like their life was at stake, with an attitude that only one will be able to make it. Which is a fact. The egg is receptive, passive. Waiting with patience, puts walls/barriers to those not worthy. Satan is the queen bee honeybee, the egg, the author writing hand, while the other bees in the hive mind are active workers. Here you see why Western culture was engineered to transform all its citizens into masculine energy. And you see why the divine feminine was hidden and destroyed. The feminine elements is water/emotions and earth. The left side of the body is connected with the right side of the brain, and left-handed people have been punished for writing with the wrong hand in all modern time. Western culture, which has spread over the whole world, is more or less totally left-brain biased. Everyone are good at details, but no one knows anything about the holistic picture. They don't see the forest for all the trees. They don't see any meaning with life. Rates of suicide are skyrocketing because of this linear culture, worshipping the surface and continue to push a theater play where humans are pure surface, dancing in threads from the puppeteer's finger movements, simply a fake voice in an artificial mask, a persona. What is meaning? Meaning is the sense of life in a holistic aspect, it's about quality, the bigger picture. Meaning is the glue that holds all together, relationships, so-called soft values, what you can't measure hence is said not to exist by the hard. While everything in Western culture is about quantity, what can be measured, controlled. Why is a tool in school used for measure called a ruler? The Prince of Air is the answer to all questions regarding suffering. Is it a coincidence that Machiavelli's book, The Prince, is a key educational book for all who are educated to work in power positions? This book is a detailed description of how to manipulate and lie in a successful way. Of course, society is a lie, a narrative, or hell's version of heaven, as a YouTuber named Chiron Last expressed it. I just started to listen to his videos. Odd numbers divide, are an extension of the creative energy from fire, wants to preserve the created, because the Prince of Air is the spirit inside of the created. His fear is based on an insight that he is not real but only exists temporarily, he's in decay/deca/10. 10 is also X in Roman numerals, which is chi in Greek, prana/life energy. The urge for control is based in a fear of vanishing, ceasing to exist. With the same analogy, administration is the last phase of the creative process. When creative energy has reached its peak, administration takes over in an attempt of preserving the creation to avoid the fall. This is also Satan, the prince. Saturn is responsible for all contracts, and everything in our society are to be in print, to be preserved, to extend the presence in both directions, past and future. Once again we end up in the conceptual shadow world of dominance and oppression. The vertical, the strong. Cain, the strong firstborn who slays his brother Abel, the beautiful, the last-born. Compare this pattern with the myth of Orpheus trying to rescue his beloved Eurydice from Hades, but fails because he turned his eyes back. Once again fire is vision and flow, which is not compatible with control. Control is air, and air is linear, while fire is cyclical. Eat your fear, eat the pear. Dare to visit Hades, and bring your inner child back to the surface, and let him live dangerously walking the tightrope that is life. To dare is to risk a mistake is to experience suffering. The totality of academical tradition in Western culture is based in a linear way of thinking. This linear logic will stretch the mind till it breaks, will make the student insane. Nietzsche, the act of driving someone to insanity, you call it, to convince. An image tells 1,000 words. While Eve is the omega, the evening, the beautiful, the circular who contains its opposites, the paradox. Even numbers are nothing and everything, because it is a balanced number it can rest in itself. It is actually death, harmony, peace, but that is only on the surface since the inner is in conflict. Only that which is not, the zero, is in absolute balance. The sage is a feminine energy, he has internalized the war, turned his air inside of himself and battled his own ego. Only fire can see the paradox, mind cannot grasp it. Fire is a higher consciousness. In fire things are not this or that, they are both this and that, which is the same as nothing because the polar opposites even each other out. Quote, truth is nothing with a twist, Kurt Vonnegut.